We are back with our favorite astrologer and soul sister, Stevie Calista, to talk about the full moon on November 15th. Hi, Stevie.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
We love these conversations. They set the tone.
And I think for everyone listening or watching, we're all feeling the intensity of everything going on around us energetically. So it always helps to give us context when you explain what's going on astrologically. So
Help us.
My pleasure.
So what should we be looking for and or releasing on this full moon?
So this is a pretty big full moon. Are you guys sick of us saying that?
Just going through some really intense energy right now, this end of 2024, going into 2025. It's probably going to be intense for a while. So I have a feeling we'll continue to say it.
Yeah. I feel like the new moon in Scorpio, which started this lunar cycle, was a little bit less intense. Okay. So there's a real amping up here, and it's very physical because it's in Taurus. So we're at 24 degrees of Taurus in the full moon. Uranus is at 25 degrees. Which means that this is a Uranian full moon. So full moons are already illuminations. They're already a time where things are amped up, right? You feel it physically. You feel it in your body. But when we have a Uranian full moon, it's electrical. So this is about liberating yourself, breaking free, sudden change, taking a huge leap of faith. And with Uranus, we don't always anticipate how it plays out, right? That's the beauty of him. He's my favorite because he just like sometimes lightning bolts us. We don't expect it. And with that comes this change. And we often will look back and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that happened. But holy crap, that was a big shock. And so because of the Taurus archetype with this, it's very physical. So that means your senses are going to be heightened. Taurus rules the monetary systems, our economy, what makes us feel safe and secure, the food systems, agriculture, like that's all very Taurus energy. And so if you are a Taurus and you have anything around the 25 to 24 degree mark, you're definitely going to feel this more if you have placements around that. Or Scorpio, Leo, or Aquarius. Those are squares and oppositions to this full moon. You'll feel it more. But everyone's going to feel this like electrical shakiness.
Wow. And it's almost to me, when you talk about Uranus in that way, it's whatever is going to happen in terms of releasing something for you. It might come out of the blue.
it can be good though, right? It could be, really going to be a bad jolt in that way. It could also be a really good, surprising.
This is the thing with Uranus is that it is for our highest and best. He wants your authentic truth. And sometimes as the human, we can't always see what that is. So sometimes that means like a breakup or an end of a job or something that you didn't see coming, but was never meant to be for you. It wasn't your highest and best. It didn't mean that it was out of alignment with your truth.
Right. And it could be that you get a job that you
absolutely
like. It
could be like money coming in. This could be abundance. This could be something completely out of the blue that you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It's definitely not always bad.
Yeah. It's a good way though to look at something though that you initially maybe shit. Yes.
What is the time frame again that we can expect this in? Is it just on the full moon or will it tinker into the days that follow?
Yeah, it's a great question. With lunar cycles, you're looking at the whole cycle. So the last full moon in Aries was very like fiery, remember? And it was
we remember.
Formative. Everyone remembers. Everyone's lives was like, what? And that bled over until the new moon, you're still in that cycle. So this is a peak point where the moon is full. And so whatever seeds you planted in that Scorpio new moon are coming to illumination and you need to make a change. There will be a change that happens with this. And then you integrate as the moon gets darker before it goes new again. So it's like a shake and then you ground back down. And a practical way to work with this is to like really lean into your physical self. Go be in nature, go make a nourishing meal, go take a bath, do very sensual Taurian things. Venus is in Capricorn and she's the ruler of this full moon. So she's more interested in responsibilities, serious. So if this has to do with your work life, some sort of goal that you have, that would make sense. And there's two other things about this. There's a sextile to Neptune and a trine to Pluto. And these are very lovely, harmonious aspects. So this isn't just a shake that's like all tension. It's actually quite harmonious in nature. I would say it's a very spiritual full moon, meaning that you might have information come in or transformational energy where you can embody it. So say you hear something for the first time and it's never been full truth to you, but now you can feel it. And so now it's true. So now you're embodied this truth. So that's what you can also expect from this full moon is the sense of embodiment, which means that your body can feel it, which means you can move on and it's truth forever.
So on this particular full moon, we always ask the questions, what are good rituals that we can do to either manifest or at least acknowledge that in our own lives? Is this a day you take the crystals out or is this the day you don't?
Sure. Absolutely. I would. If you want to pull in the energy of change, liberation, truth, yes, 100%. Because this is a very earthy energy, Taurus, and then Venus being in Capricorn, this does have a lot to do with your abundance. Maybe you have some scarcity issues. Maybe you have money wounds. Maybe you have goals that you have for your life or for your business that you really want to just take the leap of faith. This is a really good energy to do. The background Pluto, Neptune really brings forth this where your mind is, where things manifest. So this is a very spiritual full moon, but you can manifest it in the material because we're playing in this Piscean energy and then we're bringing it into the material Taurus Capricorn world. Pay attention to where your thoughts go, what you're listening to, the energy frequency of things. And that can really help you like liberate yourself into a new frequency, essentially, which means more abundance or the material world.
Yeah. Can you touch on the Pluto aspect a little bit more?
So Uranus and with the trine to Pluto, Pluto's in the last degree of Capricorn. We've been talking about that for a while, right? So this is where systems and structures break down. This is where we realize that we've given our authority weight outside of ourselves. And so this is a call back to yourself, like a call back to your own truth, your own body, a sense of liberation in your own internal compass, which means that you will probably see this play out publicly in the humanities specter externally because there's a shake and a crumble. So I'm not sure how that's going to play out, but it definitely could signify some interesting pivots for humanity.
I just am so grateful we can lock hands and watch together and have the resources to anticipate and get ourselves in a certain energetic space in order to help ourselves and humanity.
Transformational full moon, to say the least.
I always look at it, Stevie, like you're almost the weather forecast. Cloudy, it might be lightning. Just pay attention.
Yeah. One other question I have is we also know that we will be leaving Scorpio, leading into that during this time. Did that play into this at all, this energy?
Yeah, basically, we will have 6 more days in Scorpio season as the full moon comes. So you'll still have about a week of Scorpio. The sun being in Scorpio means that this is really about you going into those places that you've tucked away, your shadows, your wounds, your traumas, to try to pull them into the material. So it's almost like you're playing in the subconscious of things that have maybe been festering and you're being shooken physically to like bring them up so that you can shake them out or embody them in a different way or let them go. So yeah, Taurus Scorpio is a very intense axis because it's very intense in the Scorpio realm, meaning like all the stuff that you've tucked under the rug. And then Taurus is right there on the surface, very physical and sensual. So you're playing in a really physical place with this one. You're going to feel it. One other thing too is that I didn't mention is that Saturn is moving direct that day. So you're going to feel Saturnian energy, which you already will because Venus is in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. And all this really signifies is that Saturn you'll feel this knock of, okay, what do I need to do to create my goals? Or what responsibilities do I need to take? Where do I need to get into the karma and get to work? You're going to feel it.
Can you remind people what Saturn represents?
He's basically the Lord of karma and time. So he's the part of us that really asks you to like, you need to be doing these things. You signed up for it. So like, why are you doing it? It's time.
Wow.
And he can be heavy because there's stuff that we need to work through karmically. So we're also going to feel this very karmic energy. And it can sometimes feel like it's time. Come on. It can feel like that. So just watch for that.
Yeah. And I feel like with what you're saying too, in that there is this Uranian energy, which is all about shaking it up and making it happen fast, potentially, with that Saturn going to meet your karma and it's time. It's here you go. Now you go.
Yes, absolutely. You're right. Like the Uranian energy and the Saturn energy are very different, but working together means new structures are created because the shake happens, right? The change is necessary.
Yeah.
Does that impact time itself in a way? Because we were talking earlier about how it feels very fragmented lately. For 1 second, time is going really fast. And then the next, it's really slowing down. Or you're almost like you lose track of time. And I know we just changed the clock, so that's all messing with our brains too. So how does that impact us?
Yeah, it's basically energy, right? So if you're feeling the energy, some feel heavy and weighted and time feels weird. Some feels more floaty and you're like, what is time? And we're all doing these wave dances with the astrological energy of every day, and it changes every day. You know what I mean? And absolutely, this could affect time, especially because we have Mercury and Mars slowing down, which really is probably the reason that you're feeling like, why we feel these things very physically. And when planets slow down like this, which isn't quote unquote normal, right? We feel it.
Wow.
Gotcha. That's helpful. See, again,
It is.
having the context actually does make you feel more grounded and less like you're losing your mind.
How I stay sane too.
Okay. We now have an idea of what to expect starting on Friday, November 15th, and going until we have the new moon. When is the new moon?
The new moon would be December 1st. You might feel this energy too, like a few days leading up to. You're probably already feeling it.
Thanks, Stevie.
Thanks, Stevie.
Until the next one.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.